Good afternoon once again from the Eyewitness Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Lee Goldberg. Let the games begin. We've got the first flakes in New York City. See how it looks a little fuzzy off to the south, snowing a little steadier towards Staten Island and Bayonne. We're at 30 degrees, only going to get heavier from here on out. This snow is going to fill in through the entire area over the next hour or two. We've already got a little steady snow over central New Jersey, a little steadier batch of snow over parts of northern Sussex County. It stretches over to about Port Jervis. We've had about 2/10 of an inch in Howell, New Jersey from some ocean effect snowfall. We've got snowfall amounts southwest of Philly of about an inch and a half across parts of Pennsylvania, and over 5 inches in parts of Maryland and Delaware. Unbelievable. You see that snow's coming in like a wall this evening. From 7 to maybe 11 o'clock, we could snow at 1 to 3 inches an hour. It'll be mixing along the coast toward midnight, maybe even in New York City. Then we all go back to heavy snowfall into the morning hours tomorrow before it winds down. About a foot in New York City, some lower totals, but still significant amounts off to the south and east. Over a foot north and west, can over a foot and a half well to the north and west, some of the higher terrain, Poconos and Catskills. Jeff Smith and I will have a complete coverage throughout the afternoon. See you on First at 4 for the latest.
3, 2.
All right, we're picking up the conversation here on ABC7 NY. We just did an AccuWeather update on Channel 7. We're gearing up for First at 4. We're going to have a tag team today with meteorologist Jeff Smith and I taking you through every stitch of the storm here and taking a deep dive into our snow totals and how this is all going to evolve. Pretty tricky situation, but a very dynamic situation. And this is going to be the biggest storm we've seen in nearly 5 years. And it's already sort of showing its hand as it's coming in, and it's really kind of behaving. It's coming in very heavy off to our south and west in places like through the Mid-Atlantic and into parts of central Pennsylvania, and we are next in line. So with that, I'm going to just socially distance here and move out of frame while meteorologist Jeff Smith moves in and picks up the conversation. Jeff?
And Lee, you were mentioning that wall of snow off to our south. Speaking of that, just check Northeast Philadelphia Airport down to a half-mile visibility right now in moderate snow. So once this gets going, it's going to get going quickly. And again, like Lee was saying, 6 to 12 inches generally over New York City, out onto western Long Island, more like a foot or more from Manhattan and the Bronx and points north and west. The last 6-inch plus snowfall that we had in New York City in Central Park was over 2 years ago, November 15th of 2018. Remember that storm? It took people 8-9 hours to get home from the city because it was such a disruptive storm, and a lot of crews weren't prepared for that one. This could be a lot bigger than that. It could be double the amount of snowfall that we got in that storm in the city. So in terms of impact, heavy snow, it's a very high impact event across much of the area, especially from the city and points north and west. Strong winds, a high impact event right along the coast. Could be dealing with winds gusting 45 to 55 miles per hour. And that can cause blizzard conditions at times. I wouldn't be surprised if a couple of locations in the area actually verify with blizzard conditions, especially right along the I-95 corridor when you have that combination of really heavy snowfall rates, reducing visibility below a quarter mile, and those frequent gusts above 35 miles per hour. And those winds are going to be driving water on shore. So coastal flooding, a moderate impact, especially down the Jersey shore. With that east-northeast wind coming in kind of perpendicular to that shoreline right into tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning's high tide could be especially worrisome down over parts of coastal Monmouth and Ocean. Could be some 1 to 2 foot inundation along those areas. And also that rain and sleet. It's a moderate situation south and east of the city. Also, I just wanted to share the coastal flood watch had been upgraded to a warning actually over Long Island. We're talking Nassau County, Suffolk, western Suffolk. There also the south shore of Westchester, places like Mamaroneck. You know, the usual suspects to get some flooding there along Long Island Sound with that wind coming right down the sound there. That can drive in some water, pile up some water, maybe a foot or two of inundation there in some vulnerable spots. There are those high wind warnings down the shore, eastern parts in Monmouth, right along the shore of Ocean County. These are where winds could be gusting above 60 miles per hour later on tonight, right into the first half, or at least the very early part of tomorrow morning. So snow moving in now. I mean, it's coming in as a wall. It'll get heavy in a hurry as we head into the evening. Lee was mentioning we could be talking about 1 to 3 inch per hour snowfall rates, especially between 7 p.m. and 11 o'clock tonight. That might be the absolute brunt of this storm. Not to say it won't continue after that, because it will, especially from the city and points north and west. Now, as we head toward midnight, there will be some sleet and rain making its farthest north advance up the coast, and that probably will include parts of New York City. You'll get some mixing, Staten Island, Brooklyn, and Queens. The question mark at this point is, can we get some mixing all the way up into Central Park, all the way into parts of Manhattan and the Bronx? And that's questionable at this point. It might just be south and east of us, that rain-snow line, by later on tonight. And then it turns back to all snow by tomorrow morning everywhere, even down to the coastline. It remains windy, the snow ending by around midday or the early part of the afternoon. So you want to salt steps, sidewalks, and driveways. Really, the preparation window is shortening right now because the snow is already moving in. You don't want to wait until the end of this. You want to clear snow frequently because it'll be falling at such a fast rate. And the crews are going to have a tough time keeping up with this along the roadways. You know, you like to trust those crews and trust that the major roadways are going to be clear. But in this case, if we're getting 2 to 3 inch per hour snowfall rates for a time, crews just can't keep up with it. It's impossible. So you really want to avoid travel, and we say after 3 p.m., so basically now and right through the evening, right into the overnight hours into tomorrow morning, you want to avoid travel if you can. So for tonight, heavy snow from the city and points north and west, snow, sleet, and rain south and east of the city. Again, that mixing getting about as far north as, say, lower Manhattan, if we want to get really specific. It may not even get up to Central Park. We'll see what happens with those numbers staying pretty low in the upper 20s. It may never get up this far north, but certainly south and east of the city, that mixing will cut down on totals a little bit. Gusty winds continuing all night. Snow ending early afternoon tomorrow from west to east, probably ending west of the city during the earlier part of the morning and then taking until around midday, city and points east. Gusty winds, breaks of sun later on in the day, 31. That snow's going nowhere with these temperatures, right? Very cold tomorrow night, teens north and west of the city, mostly cloudy skies out there. We're about 21 for a low in Midtown. Brisk and bright on Friday, up near freezing. Same deal Saturday. Could be an afternoon shower Sunday. And temperatures only slowly increasing to around normal by the early part of next week. Just a shower chance on Tuesday. No real big storms out there. Wanted to take another shot here as we look off to the south. And occasionally we're seeing these snowflakes on the camera. And this is obviously a few hundred feet up. But as you look off to the south, typically if you had good visibility, you could see Staten Island. You see well past the Statue of Liberty. You can't see it right now because we have that snowfall already coming down in those areas to the south, and that's going to be moving in pretty quickly. And it looks like officially we do have a snowfall report in New York City. We know Kennedy did just start reporting light snow recently. So here's the radar showing kind of that wall of snowfall moving in across Raritan Bay right now. You're certainly getting snow south shore of Staten Island down across Middlesex County. That extends down into southern parts of Somerset. You're probably getting your first flakes, even whitening the ground in some of those areas. Had that earlier report in Howell Township down in southern Monmouth of a little bit of snowfall down there, 0.2 of an inch. That was actually some ocean effect ahead of the main line. But you see right off the bat already Ocean County having a tough time maintaining snowfall. You're getting mainly rainfall, especially the southern 2/3 of the county right now. Here are some of the snowfall reports that we've had. Again, Philadelphia right now reporting moderate snow. Newark, Delaware, an inch of snow. Nineveh, Maryland, about 5.5 inches in that area. It's coming down so fast, and I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that between, say, when the snow starts and midnight tonight, there can already be double-digit snowfall totals. That's how hard it could come down. 7 o'clock, the whole area just covered in pretty heavy snowfall, except for areas from Belmar and points south. That'll be mainly a rain and sleet mixture, so you're not going to be accumulating there. But boy, from the city and much of Long Island, you know, the north shore of Nassau County, even north shore of Suffolk County could do really well in this storm in terms of snowfall accumulations before you get any mixing in those areas. And it might be tough for that mixing line to get all the way up to the north shore of Long Island. We'll just have to see how it progresses during the evening. If anything, around midnight to about 2 o'clock in the morning, the precipitation intensity might lighten up around New York City even, and that can cause the atmosphere to warm up a little bit. When you have the snowfall coming down really heavy, there's dynamic cooling going on, and it can maintain more in the way of just snowfall. But if it warms up a little bit, that's when we could get some sleet mixing in around midnight or just after. Meanwhile, you're just going to town all night. I-84 and points north and west, not only are you getting heavy snow, but you're getting snowfall ratios of about 15 to 1, 20 to 1 snow to liquid ratio. So it's going to be a fluffy snow that accumulates so quickly in those areas. And you're just going to wake up to a 2-foot mantle of white in some areas, especially up in the Catskills and the Poconos. 7 o'clock in the morning, you see even all the way down to the coast, places that were changed over to rain overnight have changed back to snow. You get that parting shot right before midday, and then it moves offshore thereafter. Again, just recapping that snowfall. Around a foot in New York City, we have that foot line cutting right through Manhattan, cutting right through the Bronx, so anywhere north and west of there, it's over a foot of snow. And then 18 inches plus. These are the jackpot areas along and north of the I-84 corridor. We're talking Pike County, Pennsylvania, northern Sussex, the northern 2/3 of Orange, northwestern Putnam, Dutchess, Ulster, Sullivan, 18 inches plus. And there could be a couple of spots that get 2 feet of snow out of the storm. 6 to 12 basically for Brooklyn, Queens, Staten Island. So there could be a big difference actually between, say, Sheepshead Bay and the Bronx. Say parts of southern Brooklyn only get 8 inches of snow. Parts of the Bronx might get 14 inches. So even across New York City, across the 5 boroughs of New York City, there could be a half a foot difference in the snowfall. So it's going to be a really tight gradient in here. South and east of the city, more like 3 to 6 inches down over parts of the Jersey Shore, down to northern Ocean County, where you're getting rainfall right now. Southern Ocean County, you may change over to snow later on tonight with the colder air rushing in, but only 1 to 3 inches in that area. So keep it tuned right here all afternoon. We will be on, again, Lee and I will be tag teaming on Eyewitness News first at 4 o'clock. You can always contact us on social media as well. So be safe out there. Again, avoid travel if you can. It's going to get dangerous out there in a hurry. We'll see you at 4.